Hey, what's up guys? It's Bye here. Today video, I want to give you guys an update on my KvK Season 2 and some of my thought on it. Maybe after hearing them, you might consider to either move back to play KvK Season 2 again, or maybe not. Right? Maybe it's not a cup of tea for you guys. So, for my KvK Season 2 update, our team have won this KvK. So congratulations to 2361, 2367, 2373, 2382, and 2385. Right, we put up a very good fight. Very good job for our enemy as well. So very good job there for 2375, 2364, and 2369. They put up a hell of a fight, right? So we got some like really full of action KvK. We got like more than like a week worth of fighting and non-stop. It's been like an amazing experience for me in this KvK. So again, right, thanks to all of the kingdoms in this KvK. So here you can see that my kingdom, like 2361, we are taking the first capture on the Great Ziggurat. And 2367 will be the one holding the Great Ziggurat at the end of the KvK. So 2367 is definitely the much bigger kingdom, and they contributed a lot more into the KvK, right? They dropped a lot of power, so very well deserving there for them to hold the Great Ziggurat at the end. And us 2361, we also put up a very good fight as well, especially fighting against 2375 was very difficult opponent, but we were able to manage to keep like pushing them back and back. So very good job there. Definitely was definitely like one of the definitely like put up like I would say 2361 and 23. I would say 2361, 2367, and 2373 are definitely the three kingdoms on our team that put up. That put in a lot of effort into this KvK, right? So very good job there for those three kingdoms. So those are kind of like a quick sum up for you guys on my KvK Season 2. Now let's go into what are some of my thoughts on this KvK. Okay. Here we got the rallies coming. Let's go to the rally here. We got the rally from 2361 and 2373. So let's talk about like what I think about KvK Season 2. Okay. So first of all, right, the pace for fighting in KvK Season 2 is much slower compared to KvK Season 4. It's because you do not have access to some of the very high DPS commander like XY, Nabu, Guan, and so many other commanders that can deal very high DPS. So a lot of the field fight they last longer because people are using some of the like first gen, second gen commanders that doesn't do very high skill damage like Constantine, Richter, Charmatel, Saladin, Metamote, like a whole bunch of like first gen, second gen commander. And for using Zo commander, right, you cannot get the kills very fast, right? So that is like you can say it like a downside as well for KvK Season 2, right? Because yes, you can fight for longer, but at the same time, you are not getting as much kills as you can in KvK Season 4. So let's say let's say in Season of Conquest KvK, you can get 100 million kill points per hour on average. If you going to move back to KvK Season 2 and you're going into like a CA KvK kingdom, you probably will get around like 60 to 70 million kill points per hour. So that definitely at least like 30% drop or even 40% drop in terms of like how fast you can get your kills. Okay. So that is something I kind of noticed when I go back to this KvK Season 2, right? So your ability to get kills fast is definitely gonna be impact, right? You're gonna have to spend a lot more time. Unless you gonna be fighting against a whole bunch of like T3 and T4 players, and it might be different, okay? Another things that I really enjoy in KvK Season 2 was that like I was able to take a couple rallies, right? And I got imprisoned like 2 times, 3 times, I think. So like picking rally in KvK Season 2 was fun, at least for me. So the enemy they cannot fill your hospital with just like one rally or two rally, right? That is based on my personal experience. Right? I took a few rallies. Like as long as you don't put yourself into like a very bad position, where like you get absolutely zero reinforcement from or help from your kingdom, that is, you might get in trouble. Okay. Otherwise, right, or unless you get imprisoned like myself, right? If you don't get imprisoned, you can definitely take on like a couple rally here and there. And if you like above 90 million power, I would say if you like a 90 million power or higher, it's very difficult to take you down, right? You can just go ham, go wild in KvK Season 2. So that is another thing, right? Another thing about KvK Season 2 is that like when I like after I moved back to KvK Season 2, for someone like myself who pretty much got all of the Season 1, Season 2 commander kind of maxed out, I can save on a lot of sculpture. Okay. So like since I moved back to this KvK, I was able to save up somewhere around 350, right? 250 universal sculpture here just from collecting the sculpture daily, doing event and whatnot, right? I was able to save them, and I don't need to use them, right? And by the time I go back to KvK Season 4, I'm gonna have a handful of like universal sculpture ready, and I can just expertise any commander I want, right? So that is definitely a benefit there. You can save your sculpture, and at the same time you can work on some of the Season 1, Season 2 command as well. Let's say if they're like MGE for Constantine or MGE for Saladin, right? You can definitely work on those commander if you want to, okay? Only if you want to. So I can see right here we got a Constantine MGE going on. If you need to work on Constantine, then by all means you can get him. So that is another bonus for KvK Season 2. Okay. So like but like when you move back to KvK Season 2, like if you go fight the same way you fight in KvK Season 4, you are going to lose more power. Like why? Like why you are going to lose more power? It's because of the Hall of Hero. Right here it's called Relentless Warrior. A little different name here with the Hall of Heroes. The Hall of Hero, you gain 50% of your death troop back. In the Relentless Warrior here, you only get 30%, right? So like it's a big difference. So for example, let's say if my account, if I'm going to lose 20 million power in KvK Season 2, I only get back 30%, right? Which is I only get back 6 million power, okay? And if I lose 20 million power in KvK Season 4, I'm getting back 50%, which is 10 million power, right? So a 6 million with 10 million, it's like a 4 million power difference there. It could be like a huge difference for a lot of players, especially if you're like a casual player and you cannot afford to like keep bumping your power up by a lot. It make a huge difference. And to be honest, right, I don't think I can just keep playing KvK Season 2 like over and over just because the amount of death troop cannot return. I don't get a lot of death troop returning back, right? And I can't afford to lose 20 million power every KvK. Just put it out there, right? I mean, like, it's not like 20 million power, right? Because you gain back 30%, right, in KvK Season 2. So you are losing on 14 million power, okay? And if I'm in KvK Season 4, I'm only losing 10 million power, right? So losing 10 million and 14 million, right? Is that like a 40% there when you compare the power losses, right? And for like a free to play or low spender player, maybe that not, it doesn't work for you all the time, right? Or most like always work out for you, right? So maybe if you want to like work on your death counts, right, you might consider stay in Season 4 because you can afford to lose more. So that is probably another kind of a downside for Season 2 KvK, right? Like other than that, right, I would say another downside for KvK Season 2 is that you cannot use your lock commander here, right? So the Season 4 commanders cannot be usable here. You have to be using some of these old commander here, right? And like for some people, they love the idea of like using some of their favorite commander, right? So they cannot part with like, oh, I want to use Gwen all the time, I want to use my Attila, I want to use my XY, right? So that is something that might kind of like a factor for a lot of people who kind of, oh, I don't want to go back to Season 2 KvK anymore. And then I think you guys know about that museum building, right? The museum building only available for Season 4 KvK, kind of like an extra feature there only for like older kingdom, right? So you gotta go to a certain state in the timeline for you to unlock that building, right? But like overall, right? I'll say overall in this KvK it was like a very fun experience for me. Okay. Next step, let me show you guys our kingdom DKP ranking. Okay. So here you can see that the DKP ranking for Kingdom 2361. Right? I want to show you guys how I perform in this KvK. So here we got a DKP top 20. Right? We got a top 20 DKP here. We got a top 20 in kill, and we got top 20 in death here. And below here we got a full list of everybody in the kingdom with a DKP for everybody here. You can look for yourself by the ID or by the name, right? We have a lot of Chinese people in 2361. But let's see how I perform in this KvK, guys. So for top DKP, right, I am at rank number 3. Okay. So I am at 149 million DKP points. So we have our own formula. I think the formula is here, right? So here's the formula for DKP. DKP equal T4 times 2 plus T5 times 3 plus death times 5. Okay. So that is our current DKP right now. Right? It's my chain. I don't know. But that did give you like an idea of like how 2361 calculating our DKP here. So I am rank number 3, right? So like you can see like there's like a huge difference for the top 4 in terms of DKP. And I think when it go to like top when it go to like top 10 and below, I think it's pretty even, right? Like there's definitely like a huge gap here between the top 4 players. In terms of kill points here, right? Kills point, I am ranked number 2. Like I am almost as identical here to rank number 3 here. Only 100 million point more. But hey, you can see right here. So as I mentioned, right, before that, I did say that it's a lot harder, or it takes a lot more time to get kills in KvK Season 2 because you cannot use some of those like high DPS commander. So one thing is that it takes longer time for you to get the amount of kills, and it's less how I would say it's harder, right? Like because like I cannot spend. I mean, I can fight for 2 days, but like if I had to fight for 3 days and 4 days, then I mean, who gonna do work for me? who gonna go to work? Right? Like everybody has life, right? Nobody gonna be able to just sit there and just play game day after days, right? So definitely, right? The kill points here, right? I can see right here, right? If I can get like 26 million kill points here in KvK Season 2, I could probably get like 1.3, 1.4 billion kill point at least in KvK Season 4. Okay, at least. With higher with better like higher DPS commander, right? I think in KvK Season 4 you kill faster, but you also fill up your hospital faster, kind of thing, right? Because there are a lot of like higher DPS commander and higher crystal tech as well that can buff your DPS. So you just deal out so much damage, right? All of the marches just die so fast. Unlike in Season 2, it take you some time, okay? So here's a list of kill point here, right? I mean, very close here. I am rank number 2 in terms of kill points. As for death troop, I am rank number 10. Okay, at 2.386, 2.386 million death troop here for me. So yeah, and right, I mean, like, we have a list of like everybody in the kingdom here. We're tracking everybody. Highlight. I think highlights it mean very bad. But I think we have some small player who did not contribute, right? 0 point farm. I mean, this guy is, the name is farmer here, right? I mean, it's probably like a farmer cow or something here. But yeah, right, this is the system that 2361 used to track the DKP. I think other kingdoms they have a very similar similar tool as well. So yeah, right, not too bad, right, for someone like myself who migrate back to who migrate to 2361 like 2 days, 2 days, 2 days right before KvK Season 2 start, right. I farm super hard on all of my accounts. I mean, like I think like I was on my auto count like every 1.5 hour, every 2 hours, just to make sure that I got my farm sending out so that I can collect enough resources, because I know that, oh my god, I'm going to need a lot of resources here. I am running against time, okay? I do not have enough time to collect resources, so I was like, oh my god, I gotta be very active on my farm. I did not create any more farm accounts, right, besides the 3 that I have here on Zero account. So on Zero account, I have a 3 farm account, and I have 2 other small farm accounts on two other separate accounts. Okay, and like I was able to farm a decent amount of resources. Right? Yes, I did receive some help from 2361. Right? I'm not going to deny it. Right? But I think most of the resources definitely coming from my own farming. Right? I did get some resources from the rock. I got some resources from other people as well. When I was fighting, I was running out of rock. I was asking for rock. I think work games. His in-game name is America F, yeah, whatever his name here. But this guy, he also sent me a lot of gold as well, which helped me a lot to be able to achieve that amount of kills, right? So big thanks to like other people as well who actually helped me with the resources. But I'm not saying that most of my resources coming from resource assistant, okay? Right? I farm them. Like you can see that I show my resources on my farm accounts before the KvK started. I told you guys how much I have, and right before the big fight, I did transfer everything over, and I think it was around like 2 billion on each resources, and I think around like 1 billion gold. Okay. So yeah, guys, so I just a quick update here on my KvK Season 2. I hope you guys find this videos helpful, and thanks for watching, guys. Peace.